Really, thanks, Raju. So let me give a brief about what is this vDoctor tool. Meantime, Rishabh joins. Basically, we wanted to come up with a um, um, the health check tool for the SD-WAN fabric. So what is this health check going to do is basically the how the health of the fabric looks like, how the health of the controllers look like, and the even the device health can be quickly monitored on this tool. Plus what all things available is kind of you go verify, you look at the all the details of the edge devices, being it a control connection history, and hardware alarms, BFD status, everything on a single page of this vDoctor tool. And we have come up with log collections and a periodic log collections. Log collection in the sense of admin tech collection and attach it to the SR directly from that tool itself. That is one thing we can do. And the automate log collection, you schedule the log collection. Say for example, you want to collect like a couple of commands for every 30 minutes for next 7 days. That is something doable. And we have integrated the vManage upgrade readiness check, right? That is the Aura tool on this vManage itself, so that before you go and upgrade the vManage, you run this the tool once, and you get the health of the vManage before you go and plan for an upgrade. And the most critical is on the upgrade side. One is you do a pre-check before upgrade, like when you go and upgrade, you don't end up in failure once you do all the pre-checks. That is one way of looking at. Second thing is, what is the compatibility matrix, right? So you have to go offline to the Cisco website, check that, and kind of come back and say, okay, this is my controller version, this is my edge version. Will this be compatible or not? That is something doable on this tool. Yeah. So it's going to be like it's going to be like a single point of this tool is going to be a single point where we can go and do the health checks, uh, software compatibility checks, upgrade readiness check, and automate the log collection. Everything together. Yeah, I will give it over to Rishabh, and he can quickly talk about the demo. Over to you, Rishabh. Thank you.
Thanks, Guru. Thanks for explaining the vDoctor. And yeah, let me start sharing the screen and let me show the tool itself. So as Guru already mentioned about what tools meant to do and what we are coming up with different ideas with this tool. So let's get started. This is one of the view that we have actually come up with for our customers also. Right now the tool is internal and we are testing it internally. And so we have this vDoctor login that will be specific, that is not related to our vManage. Now, once you log in, like we have one account created for the vDoctor, you will have the option now to log in for your vManage. Since the tool, what we created in the initial go was that the tool will be sitting separately than the vManage. So if the user needs to provide the vManage information while connected. So let me take one of the vManages for this demo. So I'm taking the vManage, which is reachable. That is also important that the vManage should be reachable from the vDoctor side. And we should be able to connect and get all the access what is required. And you can see in the below option, we have one more called PID and Tech SR. So the Tech SR is something which is related for our tech engineers or either the customers. So the customers who are raising the ticket or working on any of the tickets, they can leverage the Tech SR feature. I will explain it more detail that what do we mean by the Tech SR. So let's continue for now. Now here I need to put the password for the vManage. We also support, so there is something I believe like few of our customers are already aware about it. That is Cisco Tech RO and RW for our tech engineers when they are working on. So we also support Cisco Tech RO and RW to generate consent tokens and get it done directly from the vDoctor. Now let me, but in this case, I will just log in directly with the admin. So now it will take some time to load the data. So as you can see at the top, we have three options called critical, major, minor. Those are the ones which shows all the alarms that are generated into this page, all the information what we have received on this page. Now this information is getting processed by using our experience and intelligence that we have collected from the TAC engineers and from the tech leads and all these other expertise in this field. So by using that information, we are generating some human readable format, easy readable format alarms um, and alerts. Right now I can see everything looks good in this scenario. Everything is 0. So everything looks good to me. Now I'll go to the first row and the first column. We have the overlay. This gives you the basic information about the whole overlay, which is related to your controllers and the edge devices. So if I click on it, you can see how many vManagers you have. Only have one vManager, and the basic information: are they reachable, what version they are running on, what is the system IP, what is the device model, all these other details. So you can see I have 2 VHs right now. I can see the host name, I can see the device ID, I can see the version on it. So this gives you the basic idea that what's going on with this vManage and what is the information available. After that, we have the activities. Now in the activities, you can see what all recent alarms that are generated. They are getting categorized based on recent to the least recent. We can do our searches as well based on our use cases. We can see that all control connection goes down for site ID 20. So all these informations are getting captured here as well from the vManage. We are working on how we can make it more better by doing some analysis and by like controlling how many alarms are getting visualized here. So what do I mean by that is that let's say we have seeing 100 alarms based on all control connection went down. So how to summarize it and keep it into one single message, and how to show that information to the user into more readable format, that what to do next to fix that issue. So these are the two components. One is overlay, other is activity. Then we have the control status that is again related to our overlay, like how many devices are up, partial or down. As we can see, all the devices are up right now. So we can see that information here. The KP or the host name is right now connected to vSmart. So we can see that information. One of the vSmart is there. So that's why we are seeing those are control of devices, 3 of them. Other than that, we also have VanEdge inventory. So this actually shows us the valid certificates. So here in this case, we have 2 devices and we have 2 certificates. All of them are valid, no invalid and staging. So everything looks good to this. And this lab is actually quite recently created. So that's why we don't have much information in it. But it gives a clarity about how the tool can actually work on. And if you have seen that in everything, we have options to support multiple things. That is because this tools also support clustering. So if your vManage is cluster based, it will actually support that. For basic information, we are working on the intelligence part of it, that how we can achieve more data to be captured from the device side for the clustering perspective, that how much intelligence we can put in the clustering itself. So we have right now only one vManage, so we can see that information. Now here, there are some interesting information that maybe you cannot see inside the device, vManage GUI itself. So we have the memory that's there. We have the root also. The root information and the OPT data information is actually visible here. And if now in this case, if the OPT goes above 90% or any critical value, it will generate an alarm here that your OPT data is getting higher. And it will also tell you what to do next, like what you're supposed to do next. Are you supposed to check what all pre-checks you need to do before either raising a tag case or before either doing anything else? What all the different measures that you can do that can prevent raising any tag case or any further escalations for this particular vManage. So all this critical information was not there in the vManage, and we found that this can be very important by consulting with our tag engineers and all the different leads, that we definitely need to capture this information. Other than that, we have the same thing, since vSmart and vBond does not have OPT, so that data is not there. You can see the version information and the CPU count and the system IP. All this also getting captured, and we are also checking if the CPU process is getting higher or memory is getting higher. All this information also getting captured. So that will also trigger an alarm over here. Now we are also working on one more phase where if the alarms are getting generated, how we can share that information in an intelligent manner to the customer directly later on with via the email or via WebEx Teams as a bot. So that is also one of the phase what we are working on. I'm also talking about all the other things what we are planning in the roadmap, so that we have a clarity, and if anyone have any doubt or feedback, that can cover it up. Okay. Other than that, we have the third section that also gives us the information about the interfaces. If any interface went down or come up, we can check that information as well. So again, we have all the options to select different vManagers and different vBonds into the overlay, and we can see what is the status right now. So overall, this whole page gives us the brief description about the whole infra, what's going on with the infra. We also have separate refresh buttons. Why we did that is we don't want dynamic refreshes into this tool that can avoid like increasing the workload onto the vManage. So we wanted to make sure that the API optimization is high and it is not utilizing too much of load onto the vManage, because definitely this tool needs to bring up enhancement inside the vManage rather than creating any issues. Okay, so this is the first page, that is the network information. Now let's go to the specific part, that is our edge devices. This gives us the core detail, all the major details about particular edge devices in brief, not like what we have seen right now, like just going with the top layer details. So as you can see, right now the one of the devices selected, and there also we don't see any alarms. So the CPU looks normal, memory is normal. We can see that there is a recent reboot that happened. That information is also available. No crash history available. We have control connection information. We are using different color segments here also to understand which type of device it is. So I can see that there are 3 control connections, 2 with the vSmarts and 1 is with the vManage. So these colors determines what type of device it is. Then we have the history also. So here also we are working on different kind of analytics, that when the control connection history is getting analyzed, we can actually show here as an alarm that what actually happened and what can be done next by using the documentation and the expertise, that if the T-log disabled or any kind of error which is coming here, how we can analyze that situation based on different vManagers and try to capture those commands output and show here as a result that, okay, it seems like this is the reason why this is happening. Please try this. If this is also not working, collect this data and open a tag case. And we are also integrating that part as well, that how we can use that data to directly raise or directly reach out to a tag case from this tool. We'll check that part as well, where we have tested it already. Okay, then we have separate sections for WAN interfaces and interface statistics. Let me see why the interface statistic data is not available. So the WAN interface, we have 2 interfaces and both of them are WAN. I think that the interface statistics was actually covering the LAN side. I think we don't have any LAN interface here, just only WAN interfaces we have. So that is why it is not showing. It is also capturing the data related to what is critical for us. So if anything is going down and anything is coming up, it will show in a different color. So in the interface statistics part, it will show if the T-log error, so the receiving error, RX drops or TX drops are increasing, it will show you into the red color. So we're utilizing these kind of red colors to make sure that the user is getting that particular part and ensuring that they're not missing that detail, that they need to work on it. There is some challenge with the device and you need to work on it. So those red color marks will be something which is critical. You will definitely see that same information above as well. But to ensure that the user is able to capture that information with their own eyes, we are mentioning that part as well. Then we are capturing other information like T-log, advertise, and BFD sessions. And since this is a cloud device, it's a virtual device, so we don't have the information related to hardware. Now, this is our first phase where we are capturing this information and doing our analysis. In future, what we are planning with this data is to capture multiple commands output, like let's say control connections and control connection history and a few other commands, and using that flavor to generate more analytics into it, rather than depending on the one command, using multiple commands to generate analytics out of it. What our engineers also do when they are doing troubleshooting. So that covers up the troubleshooting part of the tool, that how it is getting utilized to perform basic troubleshooting and to give that information to the user in a more human readable format. Okay, now let's go to the software management side. This will come towards the pre-checks part, the health check parts for the tool. So here also we have the same phase, the critical, major, minor. We have 2 phases, controller and edge devices. In the controller, I can see that health is green, everything looks good to me. It also check what is the version status, is the version good or not. So we are already running on 20.6.1. That is the latest image. So that looks good. Available version is 20.5.1. So if in case this vManage has like, let's say multiple images copied into it, like installed into it, then it will show an alarm that you have multiple images available. In case if you're planning for an upgrade, and in case your vManage is performing low, you should delete those extra images that are not necessary or that are not required. If your vManage is running on a deferred release, this will throw a critical alarm that your vManage is running on a deferred release. You should plan to upgrade it. So all this information is getting captured here. It is connected with Cisco documents and Cisco API calls to understand the situation of particular infra. So you don't need to worry about checking the documents every day to ensure that are you running on a deferred release or a golden release or anything like that. Everything is getting mapped here automatically. So the vDoctor can take care of all these parts for you. And you can, whenever you're planning to upgrade, you can come here and you can check all the information which related to your device health. So here also we have created few graphs also, since we don't have much of the devices here, you're not able to see too much of difference into the graph. We also have compatibility metrics to ensure if you are planning to add any new devices into it, or if you are having already devices into it, then your devices with 20.6 should be running on these particular images. So definitely this also helps. This information is not available on vManage. This is all Cisco documents from where we are capturing this information. So if you're running on 20.6.1, you need to ensure that your C8000V is running on 76.1A or 17.751. All this information is getting captured here. Now let's go to the Vantage. Now in the Vantage, we again have the same information since we have only one device here. So it is showing KEPR, that one, it's reachable, and all the basic information about the version status. I can see that there is no other available images. There's only one image, 17.6.1, and that information is available here. Now going to the upgrade readiness, we are working on a few different tools that are created inside Cisco, how to integrate them to ensure that upgrade readiness part also can contribute here. So here right now you can see that I'm running on the latest image and no further image has been available. So 20.6.1 is latest. Let's say you are on 19.2 and you're planning to upgrade on 20.6.1. So when you'll select 20.6.1, it will show you all the compatibility metrics again. And also we are working on one more factor, which is called upgrade path. Now, what do we mean by upgrade path is that maybe a lot of our customers have seen that thing, that if you're upgrading on any of the older image to the latest image, you may not be able to upgrade directly. You have to do a step upgrade. So now this tool can actually check and analyze that situation for you, that do you need to do that or don't need to do that. So you don't need to go through with the whole document to understand that part. You just need to select the image what you are planning to upgrade, and it will tell you that, okay, these are the steps that you need to do, or if there are any caveats or any other kind of issue, it will show you here in the bold points. So we are working on that part also. It's there in the development phase. Right now, this is the one which is in the production for all of us to view. Okay, so this covers the software readiness and the upgrade readiness part that will ensure that the users vManage infra is healthy, and there are no major challenges that can be caused because of the vManage images. And if they're planning to upgrade to a future release, this also ensures that they're aware what needs to be done while they're upgrading. We also have one more integration, which will also checks if the vManage is actually ready for an upgrade or not, or are we facing any internal issues in the vManage. We'll check on that as well. Now let's go to the vManage estimator. This is one of the criteria that we found that is least checked, but contributes majorly when there any kind of issue comes inside the vManage. Most of our customers, what we have seen face issues is with the memory and with the storage. That the storage went high and they are losing the data, their critical information. They were not aware that if the mapping was proper or not, but since the storage went high, the data they lost, or maybe because of that the vManage went slow. So here in this case also, you can see what we are doing is we are analyzing that data. Now vManage actually show this information, but that is there in the system, and a lot of time our customers miss that information. So what we did is we created a separate section for this because we found this is important, this is critical. And here in this case, you can see that we are mapping every storage type in our statistic data. how much data is getting utilized, how much is allocated, how much percentage is utilized. We also have a health meter that shows if the situation is critical or major or minor. Here also you can see it's yellow, green, and I think red is not there. Yeah, red. So it looks good. Yellow means that I think you should figure out and fix this. Green means it's all good. And red means that you need to work on it right away. You need to fix that situation right away. So let's try to understand what's going on here. So in the DPI, we have used GB, and that is 0.005. And allocation is 5 GB. So we can see it's only 0.01% utilized. So what we are doing here is we are analyzing all this information, and we are trying to tell the user or the customer that, okay, the amount of storage utilized is way lesser than the allocated one, consider decreasing it. So what we found is a lot of time our customers are not aware what should be the allocation scenario, that like, is it going to be like 5 GB is good enough, or should we give it less, or should we give it more? So all this information we are capturing for them, and we are trying to analyze it and trying to fix that for them. Because what we found is a lot of time our customers are short on the storage perspective, because the DPI or any other things can take a lot of storage for them, and they need to ensure that those which requires most get most also. So we are utilizing this information to ensure that they are getting the proper utilization of their storage. So in this case, if I'll talk about security unified logging, right, this is not even capturing anything, it is zero. So it seems like this particular section is not getting utilized anywhere inside the vMan. So what we found is that we are actually wasting that 5 GB of resource for this particular allocation. So what here the comment mentioned, it seems that the size mentioned is not getting utilized. Consider lowering it down. The lowest allocation possible is 0.1. So all this getting analyzed and making it readable for our customers, that they can be utilized later, and they can just rechange it, and they can come back to the vManage and can understand that, okay, now the configuration is correct or not. We're also working on how we can do the same changes directly here and present it what is the best suited for them. So it will give them a kind of like a feedback that what can be the possible situation here, like desired allocation for DPI. Definitely, it is just only a recommendation from the tool. The tool is feedback driven. The tool is not going to do the changes for the customer. It needs to be done manually. So if there are some changes, it will show here that, okay, 5 GB, I think you can change it to 1 GB. So all these suggestions will come into the next column. We are working on that. That needs more intelligence than the basic if-else condition. So we are working on that part. So here in this case, it does not make sense that we are not using it. So make it 0.1. All these are getting answered here. So you can see which are coming green. That means that looks okay. And it's getting utilized, and it is getting added every day. So all this information is also coming here. Okay, now like I can see that one of the queries came that this information is already available inside the vManage. Definitely, yeah, it's there in the system part. But what we are doing is we are highlighting this information. Definitely, a lot of time our customers or engineers don't go to the system always. They try to understand the infra from the monitoring side and all this thing. So we wanted to make sure that this component is also getting monitored, and that's why we highlighted this part with the graphs and with all these details that can actually make sense for our customers. And also why these comments, because that's going to help them to understand what's going on. Rather than just going with the numbers, they can actually read it, what's going on. Other than that, we have second thing that is called estimate storage. Maybe most of us are not aware about what is estimate storage inside vManage, because this particular section is not available as a GUI component. It is available as an API. A lot of our engineers, stack engineers use it when it comes to the challenges regarding what needs to be allocated now to the system. Since now we are facing challenges, what needs to be allocated. So what our estimator does based on the real-time scenario, it gives the information how much allocation is needed for, let's say, a week, or for, let's say, a month, or for, let's say, a year. Now, all this information you can see, I also have it here. So you can see 4.9 is getting utilized currently. How much is allocated? 1.145 GB. Maximum available is 117 GB. So all this information is available here. So let's say I'm planning for only 14 days, or let's say 180 days. So I selected 180 days. Now you can see here, the DPI is currently, it's going to currently utilize 0.46222, but for 180 days, I need 1 GB. That's all. I need 1 GB. If the current trend is going on, that my vManage is going to run in the same way, then I will just only need 1 GB. for 180 days. So if you have enabled 5 GB of storage, maybe you can lower it down to 2 GB. So this all is going to help our customers and engineers to understand what should be the allocation if the desired part, like if the desired target is way lesser or maybe way higher. So maybe my desired target is changed for particularly DPI, aggregated DPI. So I want it for 1 year. So you can see it's now it's showing 2.14 GB. So all these customization option is available. We're also working on how we can generate reports out of it. So they can use it with the management and can understand that, okay, we need to increase our storage because our requirement says that we need it for at least 1 year, but we don't have that much of storage available actually. So we need to increase that. We're also working on the analysis part of this. Right now it is not available, but definitely will come, where we'll show whatever you have selected, is it going to make it green, yellow, or red? So based on that also, you will be able to understand, yeah, we are selecting a correct option and we can go for it. Definitely, it is going to be organization driven. Maybe your organization have a different use case, and for that you need a different architecture. So sometimes a yellow is also fine, but definitely a red we need to avoid. So all these things can be done by this tool. And also one more thing, where we have no data that is collected, we cannot do any estimation. Definitely, since we don't have any data, how will I create an estimation on top of it? So we don't have any information on that. So for that scenarios, if you're not utilizing those particular components, what we can do is we can mark them for 0.1 once they are not getting utilized. If they start getting utilized, you'll see the alert over here, and then you can increase it again. Okay, so this is the one which is going to capture the information which is related to your statistics data and how we can ensure that it is healthy. We are also working on the alerts part of it. And once it will be available, you'll, again, as I said, you'll be having 2 ways to getting those alerts, via mail or via WebEx team bot. But right now it will be available as a alert here. So you can click on those alerts quickly and you can see like, okay, if there is an issue or not. Now, after that, so we talked about the troubleshooting part of vDoctor. We talked about the health analysis part of vDoctor. Now let's talk about the regular work that can be there with our customers, that collecting data or collecting logs every day based on some case or based on their own personal use cases. So for that, we have created called log collection. Now, in this case, we can generate an admin tag from this tool. We're also working on one part of how we can analyze these admin tags and give critical information into a more readable format rather than going through the logs that customer need to do, or our tech engineers. They can just select the device and they can generate an admin tag. So right now in this case, we have not generated. There's one admin tag available inside the vManage. You can also download directly from here. We're also giving an option to upload this admin tag directly inside the SRID. We'll also look into that. So let's try to generate. So let's say I have this admin tag. I want to generate logs, code, text, and I want to attach it to SR. So I give my SR ID, and once I click on generate, it will generate also. It will show me a pop-up that the admin tag is generated, and it will also send that admin tag, upload that admin tag to that particular SR. So once you give the SR ID, now you'll be like how it will upload to the SR ID. So you will get that token inside the SR ID through which you also upload your logs or admin text into the tool, into the Cisco SR ticket tool. I forgot the name of the tool through which we upload the file, but there you need to give your token. So you can collect that token and you can upload it directly here. So through that way, you can upload your logs and tech SR. We are working on more information that you can directly attach to the SR ID. But for now, we have admin tech and few other things that is supported with the tech SR. And thanks, Varun. That is CXT that we use to upload the information onto the tag. Yeah. So this is how we can generate admin tech. Maybe let me just generate one for everyone. Will not attach to any SRID, but let's generate one. So it will start generating the admin tech, and once it will be done, we'll be able to get a alert for that. So it's in progress. And one is there in the vManage and one is there in the vDoctor. So we are collecting those logs in both the scenarios. One is for the vDoctor and one is for the vManage. Why we are keeping it inside the vDoctor is to analyze it later on. Once it is generated, downloaded, maybe we can do some analysis and we can give that result to the customer. So that is also one thing why we are keeping that admin tag. So we are working on more things into the log generator part, not only admin tech and other factors as well, where we can generate those particular components that may not be available into the admin tech itself, or maybe admin tech is too huge of a data to collect that. So particular logs or particular commands output can be seen here as an option to be generated. So maybe like one of the tool which is having a separate section right now inside vDoctor, but that will be integrated later on here. So like upgrade readiness. So you want to check if upgrade readiness is correct or not. So you can come here and you can generate the logs for that, and you can analyze it, maybe manually or maybe by the vDoctor. So all these different use cases will come up with. Now automate logs generator. So you can see we got a disclaimer that for this tool, you need to give your, again, the vmanage or the VH username and password. Why? Because we are using the SSS approach now to collect the outputs of CLI commands, and to get that information here, we need that username and password for that particular device. So let's continue. So here we have three options. We have SNMP that will going to come soon, and API we are already working on. It is in development phase. And now here we have the CLI command. So whatever output you want to collect, you can select you can mention that command. So you also need to make sure that you are mentioning the run correct command. So let's say for this one, I will collect show run and show control connection, let's say. Okay. Now what I have to do is right now in this scenario, my vManage is selected. I can see all of my devices which are available here. Let's say I selected vManage, and now let's say I select. So what option it gives you is that you can select the IP that you are already aware is reachable, or either you can type your own IP. What do you think that supposed to be there? So that IP you can select, and you can use that to automate the log. So like in this case, I will take the IP. So that will be 10.197.247. Okay, let's try this. I'm not aware about it, but let's try this one. Now let's give the username and the password.
I'll ping the details. The IP and the...
Okay, thanks for that. Yeah, so 194. Oh, okay, thank you. And the username password will be the vManage one only, right?
The device username password I have sent.
Okay, this is the vManage.
Oh, this is the vManage username?
Yeah.
Oh, then
I'm running it on the vManage.
Oh, okay. Then you already have the username.
Yeah, yeah, correct. So let's select the time and date. So let's say from today, and let's say let it start from 12 o'clock. Let's say I want to start from 12 o'clock. Okay. So now what we found is that a lot of our partners, when we raise any tag case or anything like that, and the engineer asks for the logs to be collected every 3 hours, they need to go manually and collect those logs. Now they don't need to do that. They can just go here, they can type their commands, and then they can select the time frame, and it will do it automatically for them. So now 12/6, and let's say I want to do it for 3 days. Okay. And I want it to end at, again, the 12 o'clock part only. And the minutes frequency, let's say I want to say it should be 1 hour, let's say. Then I can also mention the SRID. So once it is done, it will automatically send that data to the SRID. Now I'll click on automate. So here you can see that this is getting scheduled, and we don't need to worry about that. We didn't give the SRID at that particular moment, because later on also you can give and you can submit it. So you have a download option. Right now, a download will not give anything to us, since it is just starting the process. Even if I download, let's see. Yeah, we will not see anything because it just started the process. So maybe we'll work on some error, or maybe we'll just keep it as a pause right now. And once, definitely you can download in between the process as well, once we have a sufficient amount of data collected, since it will start at 12 o'clock. So once that information is collected at once, you can download in between as well. So you can analyze in between as well what's going on with the device. And if any kind of error or any kind of command issue is there, you can also check that part. and can stop the scheduler and can run it. So in the initial phase, we are supporting right now 5 schedulers at a time. So you can generate 5 schedules which can be running. Definitely history will always be there. So if you have multiple schedulers that are running, you can see that information as well here. Okay, this covers the automation log part. We are also working on how, when those logs are getting collected, how you can, vDoctor itself can analyze those logs and give more information on top of it. Definitely that's going to take time because these all are string-based commands that are generating string-based output. So that's going to create some issues for vDoctor to analyze, but we are working on that. So we are first right now focusing on analytics part for the API perspective, how we can utilize that data and gives alerts and alarms based on that information. So once anything is getting generated, we'll have a detail option where the user will click on it. It will give the suggestions and the feedback that has been analyzed based on the logs that has been collected. After that, as I talked about, that we are also working with one of other third-party tools, what has been generated inside Cisco. That is one of the Aura for vManage. Now here also you can see this action requires credentials. I click on continue. Now, Aura again is one of the tools that helps for the upgrade readiness check. So it will tell you like if the vManage is ready for upgrade or not, and help you to understand what should be done. So now here we have a small option that says ping to understand if the IP is reachable from the vManage perspective, vDoctor perspective. Now, maybe that WAN IP is reachable with vDoctor, but the LAN IP is not reachable. So all these options are also available. So let's say if I select this one, so it is reachable. I can see the tick mark. Now I will give the username and password here, and I will generate the report for this. Right. Oh, okay. I have to select. So why this option is available is because if the device is cluster based, you can select multiple vManagers and it will work fine for them as well. It will queue the process and it will run on all the vManagers and generate the report based on that. So currently, what happened is we are facing some challenge when we navigate to different page. It stopped the process, so that's why we are showing an alarm right now. So now it is started generating, connected to the device, and it will start generating the logs. And once it will be done, it will show here the report that you can download directly from here. So we have 2 ways to now use Aura tool. Once is manually, like you put the Python file inside the vManage of yours and then run it manually and then generate the log and then copy back that logs inside your working device and analyze it. Or rather, you can go to vDoctor and select the vManage and just click on run. Everything is GUI oriented. Even we are working on analysis part as well. So if any kind of error is coming inside the Aura or a report, it will also analyze those and give us alerts with the detail part. So that also been taken care here. So yeah, I think it will take some time, so I will not go further on this. And yeah, that's all we have for. Okay, check started happening. So that's all we have for now for vDoctor. Definitely working on a lot of things inside vDoctor regarding the analysis perspective or intelligence perspective, and we soon will have that. We'll also update into the features. Okay, it's generated. So we have the Aura report and it's in a .tar format that I can download. Yeah. And also, yeah, one more thing, we have dark mode also. So we also support dark mode. Yeah, that's all, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Rishabh. Thanks for taking time to show this demo. I know there are multiple questions came up whether this is going to replace analytics or not. Definitely no. This is not a replacement for analytics. Just wanted to recall. This is not a replacement for analytics because we are not doing any analytics part by taking out the GraphDB and then showing it on the traffic pattern and all those things. No, we are not doing that. This is a health check tool, which we wanted to do for pre-checks, health checks, and log collection. That's all this, this tool. But all these informations are available with either vManage or on the device. This tool is going to help you pull that information, but add some additional intelligence before it show it to you. And this is all what the vDoctor is going to add value there, right? So thanks everyone. Maybe we can go to the next topic then. Thank you. As I said,
Thanks, everyone.
please raise your questions if you have any questions. Post this